video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network Video Game Show, episode number 41 for June 8th, 2007. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, tell me what question we should use for the question to introduce the cast.
I got one.
Right, and joining me this evening is Bob.
If you could have any character from any game as a roommate, who would it be?
That's funny.
Good.
Next up is Keith.
What's your favorite villain in a video game?
Did we already do that one?
Did we do villain? I thought we did favorite hero.
And if we did, somebody will correct us.
Yeah.
And Ivan.
No.
Okay, you want to take a little break there? Okay, fine. Next.
I can't think of
Okay,
anything.
one more second. We'll go with Phil.
I got nothing.
Dude.
Yeah, just throw something out there.
What is your the least favorite class to play in an RPG?
Now, back to Ivan.
I
Come on, just make something up.
Wasn't supposed to be hard.
Dude, just say something. What video game you
Something.
turn to a movie? What video game would you top with whipped cream and have naughty sex with? What video game would you sit there and not say anything while you sit there?
and sit there.
What video game do you think would make the best drinking game? You seriously can't think of anything?
No, I'm totally brain dead. I've been up since 4:45 this morning.
I'm disappointed in you.
I am too. We'll give you the rest of the show and then cut it back in. You better think of something.
Actually, or what there, Bob, because what we do if he doesn't think of something.
He just better do it.
Okay, can I give mine? Your favorite educational video game.
Oh, I already know the answer to that one.
Okay, we'll move on and give Ivan time to think. And Ivan, if you should ever think up one, just yell it out and I can splice it together. And in GamerCast Network community news, go check out Gamertag Radio episode number 103, where Godfrey and crew talk with Aaron Greenberg about, quote-unquote, the major announcement that could make gaming history. Also, go check out Podtacular episode number 115, where they're joined by George from ArrowPaws.com. And be on the lookout for a new episode from Uncle Gamer Radio. Finally, the video game show is going to be having some gaming giveaways over the next few weeks. Up first is a copy of the PC real-time strategy game Age of Mythology Gold Edition from Microsoft Game Studios. All you have to do to win is send us an audio question over Skype at Video Game Show or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call and all normal fees apply. Whoever sends us the best question will win. Be sure to leave us a way to contact you when submitting the question.
Next topic.
How was your Titan Quest guy?
Oh, I do what I do every time I play a game where you can create a character. I play for a week or two, and then I think of something else I want to try, so I start a new guy, and then I think he's the best guy ever, so I've done that 3 times now. I'm now on my 3rd guy, and I love playing the 3rd guy, so I haven't even started, or I haven't even played the other 2 guys.
What's the 3rd guy?
Short story long, I was playing one of my guys with Bob. We got a couple legendary shields, so I decided to make a
Defender?
Yeah, and I'm just having a blast. It's just fun bashing people with the shield and seeing them go flying.
You don't even use a sword?
I only use the sword in between shield bashes.
Captain America.
Are you hybriding with something else?
I haven't yet. I'm level 13 now with that guy. I haven't taken a second mastery yet. I don't know if I'm going to.
I was starting with the Dream Mastery. I made a new guy. And once you get that 32 points all in the mastery itself, you no longer get the bonuses in terms of strength or a health point. You need to hybrid. Even if you don't use any of the skills.
I guess I never thought of that. No, you're right. Yeah, because every time you put a point into your mastery, you get a whole bunch of stuff.
It's definitely worth it to do it. I like the horn stuff from the warrior path. It stuns and it hits them for like a percentage of their health. Can't tell you how much I love running into a pack of people, blowing the war horn, and then just spinning around in a circle with a spear. Everyone goes, and you just stab them all.
War horn doesn't suck.
Wait, are you into the beyond normal mode? Are you into epic or whatever?
Yeah, I was playing Epic for a while.
How much harder does it get?
It's like Nightmare Mode on Diablo. Like, Nightmare Mode was probably the most fun of all of them. Because Hell is just stupid, and in normal mode you don't get any of the good gear. And Nightmare was like a good compromise. So it's actually been a lot of fun, but I'm assuming once I get into Legendary Mode, it's just going to be insanely hard. Unless they fix that with this game, too. I'm very curious to find out.
So you guys have splurged and moved into the expansion?
Yeah, no thanks to Bob.
Yeah, sorry.
And now I can't
Dude,
even
I
play
was at-
epic mode because I have to finish the expansion first. And I can't finish the expansion because my guy's too squishy. I need a tank. That's why I have to keep making new guys and playing them.
Next topic.
The guy who is the producer of Transformers the movie, Tom DeSantos, has secured the television and film rights for City of Heroes.
I never found the backstory to City of Heroes terribly compelling. The whole story with the Statesman and the Ritke invasion, and I don't know, I never really liked the lore of the game. It was more of gameplay value to me.
What was the backstory?
Alien invasion by the Ritke. This happened prior to when the game happened. Remember?
Well, I was talking with somebody today. If I'm not mistaken, after the beta was over, the way they transitioned it was they had the Ritke invasion come down, and so there was all these aliens all over the place.
Yeah,
and they were just mutilating all of the all the heroes.
I don't think it was part of the plot. It was like, oh, they're attacking again. They found a way through the force fields type deal because the world was already set up with like the Ritke crash site and everything else.
I know that the developers were the Ritke in the invasion, so like they were running around killing all the player characters.
Now, in the normal game itself, what are you fighting most with? I never played City of Heroes, so what are your major enemies?
They split it up into a bunch of different, like you start off fighting just like gangs. There's the Hellions and the Skulls. The Hellions are just like devil worshippers and stuff, and they have fire powers. And the Skulls have like, darkness powers. They can drain life from you and stuff. And it just progressively goes up. You start fighting the Mafia and then Mystics and then other types of magicians. And like they had a steampunk group called Nemesis where everything was all gears and they used blunderbusses and all this nonsense. And all their big giant mech bosses were these steam-powered automaton things that were really kind of tongue-in-cheek.
I've read the comic. I mean, I was reading the comic, but of course they mailed it to you with the subscription to the game.
Sometimes.
They felt like it. But the thing with that one is I didn't like how they switched paths, but hey, whatever.
I mean, when you're playing the game, the comic book's really interesting. Like, going back now, and if I find one and read it, it's just kind of like, meh, I'm not playing now. But when you got them, it like made you want to play the game more, so I thought it was kind of a good move on their part.
But I think the movie could be good if they make the fight scenes compelling enough, because in all honesty, they're not going to get the people just wanting to see it because it's Spider-Man or a Fantastic Four or whatever. No, people are going to be like, I've never heard of this. So they better make the fight scenes compelling enough to make people want to go see it. Or at least make it look like it has enough action that people are like, that'll be entertaining. Because there's a difference between a good movie and an entertaining movie. All it's got to be is entertaining. It doesn't have to be good.
Next topic.
You still playing City of Heroes?
No.
Okay, just double checking there.
It was an awesome game, though.
Totally broke it. Until they turned it into every other RPG, so we stopped playing it.
Yeah. But we played the hell out of that game, and we really, Bob and I designed our guys for the long haul. We didn't just make our guys the typical build. And pretty much, he and I could fight damn near anything in the game. Eventually. I mean, it would be like a 6-minute, 7-minute battle in MMO fighting, but we would win. And then they decided to break it and make it like every other MMO.
Yeah, really. The joke was it was no longer City of Heroes, it was City of Zeros, because you couldn't do anything by yourself. You always had to be in a team, which, I don't know, that really took away a lot of the fun factor. You didn't really feel like a superhero anymore.
How did they gimp it?
They ripped apart everybody's defenses and upped everything's damage, including the villain.
I mean, Bob and I used to jump in the packs of like 20, 30 guys and just start laying low people. But we built our guys to do that. And then we just no longer could do that. And it was like... So this is like every other MMO where I can only fight 1 or 2 guys at a time.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it like that. Like I said, they wanted more group play, and I guess it's the only way they could force you to do it. Though, honestly, I loved group play when you got like a whole... that was the best time to show off. I mean, you got your guy, you got your build that you like, and everybody has like, their one thing they can do. Sure, I'd be able to jump in the group of 20 or 30 people, but I didn't say it wasn't impressive to watch, the Blaster come in, use his Nova Wave atomic bomb attack and then annihilate the entire screen in one shot, and be like, okay, that was kind of cool.
It was like one of the games. A, it was like not like anything that was already out on the market, and B, when you leveled, you felt like, I mean, it wasn't like you didn't get 0.0003% better. You're better. You've leveled. You can now have new powers.
It wasn't like all these other games where you're constantly putting points into your attacks because you need to do 10 more points of damage because you're fighting tougher creatures. You just buy the attack. It was really neat. It was like when you got a power, it meant something. It's
right. The enhancements was like the unique thing. Like, you learn a skill and then you buy these enhancements to enhance it however you like. And that's pretty much where they broke it, right?
They reduced the amount of stuff you could put in one power. Like, if you had more than... It was like, one enhancement gives you plus 50% damage, 2 gives you 75, 3 gives you 78. And it's just like... So it just really wasn't worth putting more than 2 of the same kind. And what they're trying to do is make the powers customized more. But the problem is you end up putting in the same 3. So everybody's powers are just kind of bland and generic. You really couldn't get them to do what you wanted anymore. That's when we kind of lost...
That's when we lost interest, basically.
It just was like, okay, whatever.
You're now every other MMO. I have no need to play you.
Next topic.
Keith, you've played Eve, have you not?
Yes, I liked that game. It was a little slow-paced, but it was fun.
Eve is a space-based MMO where you fly around and part of corporations and trading and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and you can pretty much play the game however you want. Like... And I played it with a couple of guys we used to play Asheron's Call 2 with. His thing was he liked the economics of it. So his whole thing was he tried to make as much money as he possibly could. Me and the other guy just basically like taking jobs as pirate hunters, and we run around shooting things. It was really cool. You could go bounty hunt other actual players.
There was a major scandal that happened with this a couple months ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The CCP is a Swedish company that made the game, and one of their employees was a player in the game, and he gave blueprints to an in-game corporation or guild that gave them a better ship. And the employee was found out. There's a whole brouhaha over all that. And in response to that, the CCP set up an internal affairs division, which monitors their own employees that play the game. I guess there was another blow-up like a couple weeks ago. People were worried that another employee was doing the same thing, and the whole internal affairs thing jumped onto it and was like, no, this is just a guy doing some bug testing. However, with all these scandals and whatnot, I guess right now they're at the point of where they're going to have a independent oversight committee of players. So they're going to have players of the game be elected to this committee, which can go to Sweden and examine the offices and everything to make sure everything's on the up and up.
The people in this game were fanatical. So I could see people, flipping out about the cheating thing, and I could see them really getting into it and giving them a lot of player feedback.
But I'm wondering here if this Eve game, which I can't imagine having a population the levels of World of Warcraft or those kind of things.
No, not at all.
But I'm wondering if Blizzard has, or these other companies have similar internal affairs divisions.
I would have to think yes.
Any corporation like that's going to have some type of monitoring. It's just one of those things that to do something like that, you'd have to be mildly retarded. It's like trade secrets or anything else. You can't just give away stuff that you have privy to because you're an employee. I'm surprised they didn't come down harder on this guy, fire him or whatnot.
I don't think he was fired. He was kept on.
That's like a huge conflict of interest if you're in any other company, if you think about it.
I guess the question here is, should the developers of these games be allowed to play the games, knowing what they know?
Yeah, I don't see why not, because trust me, there's people that have played the game that probably know just as much as them about the...
I was going to say, and half the fun of being... I mean, these guys who develop the games, not like they don't like video games. They're going to be pretty invested in the product that they made, and I'm sure they're going to want to play it. That would just be silly. Play at home. That's obviously something he got from work and was only able to do at work or log in via his work email or whatever, and yeah.
I could see them all getting upset and blowing everything out of proportion if something like that happens. But again, you can't tell the people they can't play the game they're making. You just have someone keep an eye on it, that it's not being crazy.
So we'd like to hear your thoughts on this topic via a poll. Do you think all companies that develop MMOs should follow CCP's lead and allow the playing community to choose representatives that can inspect their offices to ensure there is no employee in-game cheating? Possible answers are: A, no, CCP is going overboard as it is. B, yes, across the board all MMO companies should do this. Or C, yes, but only in cases where there has been prior evidence of in-game cheating by the company employees. Go to the Video Game Show website at www.videogameshow.org. Go to the poll and tell us what you think.
Next topic.
There's a lot of people that obviously take the MMO world seriously. Phil, how many different groups have shot you down to go raid with them because you're a hunter and they already have enough hunters?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the first thing you do, you say, okay, I'm looking for a group to do instance, whatever. And the first thing they'll ask is, what is your spec or what is your skill tree? And it's like, if you don't meet their requirements, they're like, all right, sorry, we can't use you. It's ridiculous.
How widespread is that in like World of Warcraft?
The people that do that are the raiding guilds, and because you got to be pretty hardcore if you want to go raiding. Like, I'm not a raider, I'm not attuned to anything, but you have to go through all these quests. It's a big pain in the ass before you can even go into the raids. Those are usually the people that are fanatical about it, and, you know, have to do this, this, and this, and this, and, well, why did you do that thing instead of this thing? I mean, like the whole Leroy Jenkins with people with the calculators and that kind of thing. They calculate, you know, the odds of everything, and, all right, if you do this, and, you know, this guy has a 12% chance to drop this item, and if he does, you know, that kind of stuff.
There are people on WoW that take it to that level.
On the Ventrilo, I've heard people talking about, you know, blah, 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 the percentage chance to get this or this or this. And, I mean, odds are we're going to have to run this like 12 times to guarantee, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, Jesus, you guys are really into this.
More into it than I would be. I mean, I would just, like, say I'm shinier.
Dude, my staff glows blue.
Like, for the longest time in Titan Quest, I was running with just this blade that was crap, but yet it glowed blue, and it was a frost blade, so it was like...
I've got purple bangled bracelets that glow purple.
So that means you guys are pricks of Titan Quest.
I guess so.
We're Titan Quest snobs.
Yes.
There you go.
You're not glowy enough. You can't play.
Next topic.
And since everyone's upgrading their PCs to the latest and greatest to play the god game that is Titan Quest, have you guys all looked at Hellgate London? I mean, we talked about the whole elite thing they're going to do for the subscription plans. Have you actually seen the gameplay? Hellgate, from the interface perspective, is really a departure from games like Titan Quest, where, you know, in Titan Quest, you use the mouse, click, 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 attack, 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 die, die, die. Whereas Hellgate is more of a third-person, first-person game, kind of like running around in the third-person view.
There's something to be said for the Diablo style of gameplay.
That was my one issue when looking at this one initially, was that it really does break from that overhead isometric view.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It does look. I mean, you can clearly tell you got the health orb on the left, the mana orb on the right, and obviously the little squares right there in front of you are your different spells, much like Titan Quest.
And actually, they're having something called a contextual key, which, depending on what your guy is doing, and it will change based on what you... Like, okay, their example was, say you have a guy, you're fighting an enemy, and you have 3 spells. One spell is close range, one spell is medium range, one spell is far range. You link all these 3 spells to that key. Then, depending on the guy in your target reticle that you're on, and when you push the key, it will vary between which attack spell you're going to use.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool idea. So if the guy's standing right in front of you, you'll execute the short range thing.
I'll definitely buy this game.
I was about to say, this is a game I will definitely pick up. I will play it a bit to see if it, most likely I'll say it probably is going to catch my interest enough for me to pay the $10 for at least a couple months.
My only concern is if I would get tired after playing it for like a couple hours, which actually might be good. It would like get me to stop.
Yeah.
They have melee. Oh,
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, you can have melee guys.
Sweet.
It looks like it's a good thing I'm upgrading my PC because this looks pretty intense.
Look and feel of the game is very similar to Auto Assault for the 2 other people who played it.
I'm one of them, so for that other person that's played
it.
I never played it, so.
Neither has 98% of the gaming population. Auto Assault was just Twisted Metal, the MMO.
It kind of wasn't what you think it is. Like I said, it was kind of an auto lock-on with all of your weapons, and you didn't really have to aim terribly much. This looks more like you have to aim, which is good.
Yeah, I think you have to aim, but Tom had played this at the Games for Windows event, and he said when you actually fire the guns are more like spells. They aren't like a real gun.
That's fine, because I'm going to be a hand-to-hand guy anyway.
That's fine, because I'm just going to punch things in the face. Maybe with a sword, but I'm still going to punch them in the face.
I'd prefer to punch them in the face.
Screw that ranged crap.
I'd still like a first-person puncher.
Hopefully it's at least 6 months to a year away, because...
They're targeting this summer.
But I'm playing Titan Quest, and I like it.
No, it's cool. I'm going to need to switch up something that makes me press the button a little bit less, rather. Give my hand a little time to heal.
You're not going to... If it's like a first-person shooter game, I don't know how much
Yeah, that looks like a lot of button.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Next topic.
Ooh, that's a good question. What's your favorite Atari 2600 game?
That's not even a good question.
And why isn't it? That's an awesome
If
question.
it's anything but Berserk, I'm going to smack you.
No, Berserk.
That's your little guy. You run around shooting the mandroid-looking robots, and if you take too long, little evil Otto, the smiling, happy face, comes bounding at you and kills you if he touches you. Boy, that game sounds dumb when you think of it.
Well, there's my question.
Oh, yeah, there you go. See, I'll splice that in. Very good.
Next topic.
What do you guys want here? It's slow news week. It's summer.
Yeah, summer sucks. E3 is about the only thing.
And it sucks now because it's not even the
Yeah.
same thing it was. Okay, here's a question. What games are you guys looking forward to over the next few months here?
See, I'm not.
UT3, but, you know, that's not for a while.
I'm looking forward to actually playing Titan Quest. I want to play Neverwinter Nights 2, which has been sitting on my desk for a long time. I'm looking forward to Hellgate London, and not coming out anytime soon, but the Warhammer 40,000 MMO.
Yeah, you're waiting for a while on that one.
I know that, but still. You just asked what games I was looking forward to in the future.
Since Tom told us about Hellgate, I was intrigued. And then after watching that video just now, it does look pretty cool. So I guess I can officially add that to my list.
You're the only one here with a Wii currently. Are you looking forward to any of the Wii titles?
I was actually looking forward to Super Smash Brothers back when the Wii first came out. Now I'm kind of into... I don't even know what I'm going to do with my Wii. I haven't turned the thing on since February. I just don't play the damn
had to
thing.
sell his. He had the same problem you had.
It's sad, really.
Bob, what are you looking forward to beyond UT3? Anything?
The Afterlife.
When's Crisis come out?
I think it's going to be this fall, if I recall correctly. Anything else?
Warhammer Online. I'm signed up to get in the beta for Warhammer Online.
Yeah, I've signed up for that as well.
Phil, are you looking forward to anything?
I don't even know what's coming out, to be honest with you.
I've only had my computer for like a week. I actually want to agree with Phil. I really haven't been looking that hard, and I probably should.
Most of the games that come out, they're all just games that have already been made and played. In fact, they're usually just sequels to previous games anyway. There haven't really been any new exciting game coming out that has really tweaked my nipples in a good way.
Whoa.
What would be the last game that did, quote-unquote, tweak your nipples?
I think Titan Quest will do that to me when I get it running. Once I woo it with a better system, I think it'll tweak my nipples nicely.
Next topic.
Here's a funky little thing. There is a Beijing-based company called Digital Bamboo, and they want to add a new peripheral to PC and console MMOs and other traditional games. They want to incorporate your physical response into the gameplay by hooking up a heart rate monitor.
No.
Why?
They want to analyze your stress patterns so they can give a more compelling in-game experience.
They can stress me more. No, thank you, sir. I
Yeah,
don't want a
like
more compelling experience. I want to sit the hell still.
you need to find 40 of these things that drop like 0.01 of the time. Oh, that really frustrates him. Look at his heart rate go. he must be excited.
You must love this.
Or taking a horror game where they're trying to get you on the edge of your seat and monitor if you're getting scared or your heart rate's starting to pump up, and then induce a heart attack and kill you.
All right, that would be funny though.
Yeah, if anybody knows of this happening, please call us. Video game show. We do have that spot with the video game deaths. Yeah, speaking of video game deaths, we haven't had any lately.
Well, there was a near one, but they didn't die. There were 2 kids who got struck by lightning while playing Guitar Hero.
Were they playing
Stupid.
with electrical rods in their buttocks?
They were in-house, indoors, playing Guitar Hero on a PS2. Both of them were hooked up to the system. And while they were playing, there was a storm going on outside. Bolt of lightning hit right next to the house, went right through all the wiring of the house, and fried the guitar controllers. They didn't die.
Ooh, I mean, good thing.
Should get the wireless. Send it back, get the wireless. See mom and dad, buy the wireless. Your kids won't get electrocuted.
This public service announcement brought to you by Phil.
Next topic.
Have you guys seen any really weird moments in gaming? This blogger stated what he found were the 50 weirdest moments in gaming. And he pointed out such things like, I guess, Maxis' Simcopter game. When you complete a mission, you're supposed to get fireworks and a brass band send-off. However, apparently the head programmer of the game, Jacques Servin, added some code that would randomly change the celebration to display men in swimming trunks kissing each other.
Really?
Really. He was fired by Maxis after having shipped 80,000 units of the game.
Would have never thought that he'd lose his job. I thought that guy was secure as secure could be.
I guess there was an epidemic on WoW once, some plague.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, some disease from some boss had a much longer time duration than it should have, and it like infected an entire city or something.
Yeah, when the quest ended, you still had it.
It like wiped out servers. Just like people were dropping left and right.
If you were under level 50, it would kill you instantly. That was, I guess, the effect of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty cool.
Everybody just standing around the guy who sells the health potions. Just like, you're alive until you run out of money.
It's like the Lollercost.
Yeah.
I had one back when I was mudding in college. Muds were, the text-based role-playing games. Well, when I was mudding one day, I was in this like level 25 to level 30 zone where I was just killing little things, getting gold and trying to level up. And I wasn't paying attention, and I walked into this room that had like an elite boss, and it was like a wind elemental. So he hit me a bunch of times, and then he did this thing where he somehow blew me. Yeah, that didn't come out right.
That would be a very weird moment.
Or did it?
Yeah. He basically knocked me into like a new zone that was under development and wasn't even released to the game.
Hit you so hard, it hit you into next week.
Next topic.
We can talk about Phantom. Do you know how much money they've lost since they started as a business?
26 million.
I have no idea, but I'm assuming it's a lot.
75 million.
That's 73 million.
Really? Wow. That's a lot more than I thought they would have pissed them away.
I would have figured that people would have stopped throwing money at that by now.
People have analyzed their recent 2006 SEC filings to see what exactly they're doing. How can they
continuously lose money and somehow still be in business?
A lot of it has to do with, I guess, they are paying people in terms of stock from their company. Their stock is currently valued at 0.0008.
Well, first of all, how big of a moron do you have to be to work for Phantom for stock compensation?
They're going to turn it around. I can feel it. Like Gil from The Simpsons. Oh, come on, just help Gil out. Another 5 million stock options. That's all Gil needs.
The thing is, whenever they get sued, they always
pay more money.
No, they don't pay money. They pay stock. They keep giving stock away in their company.
But if their stock is worth 0.008 of a cent.
Hey, you know what? 0.008 of a cent on the dollar is better than 0 on the dollar.
Not much.
The thing with that is people hope that the things will take off, and that
they're going to snap out of this funk. You see, they're going to bounce right back. That boy.
Go get him, killer! Back in the ring.
So that way, when it does hit even like $1 or $2, they're going to make 2,000 times what they put into it.
There's a certain point where you gotta say that.
Throw the towel, Mick. I'm done. I'm beat. Come on, buddy. You can get back up that Phantom. Get back in there and take a few more. You can do it.
In your article, it says that they're...
Come on, put them up. Put them up.
Keep moving. Just keep moving.
In 2005, they lost 12 million. Last year, they lost 4.5 million.
See, they're doing better.
The only way... Yeah, but the only way they could lose less money is if they did less things, because they're not making any product, so they can't be making any profit.
Get back in the ring, champ. Y'all got him. Look at him. You got him on the ropes. He's teetering on defeat. You guys are going to come through this time. I see big money in your guys' future. Big, big Phantom. Big.
Put all my money on the guy fighting Phantom.
GamerCast Network Video Game Show, episode number 41 for June 8th, 2007. Any ham sandwiches?
Yeah,
Duff,
we have to give one to
congratulations.
Duff.
Yes, Duff must get a ham sandwich. He's expecting a child.
He's not expecting a child.
Well, they're both expecting it.
I'm
One of them.
expecting it at this point.
Yeah, good point.
Is she pregnant? I'm expecting there's going to be a child at some point. I'm hoping it's human. I mean, whew, that'd be awkward.
She'd have some splaining to do.
So you're saying the tentacles are from my DNA pattern, huh?
Honey, I am so sorry.
Any shattered dream pies for the world?
I give a shattered dream pie to a 7-foot boar. You were doing pretty good up until you ran into that 10-year-old.
Yeah. Up until you took 9 slugs from a 50 caliber rifle, pistol,
Still a
revolver.
10-year-old. He's still a 10-year-old.
We might need to give Tom a ham sandwich for getting everybody hooked on Titan Quest.
But that's giving Tom praise.
You can't give Tom credit for anything.
His ego
Oh,
is big
so-
enough.
So what you're saying is we should.
We
give him
would have
Shattered Dream-
eventually found it.
So what you're saying is we should give him a Shattered Dream Pie for him ruining everybody's lives for the many hours that we've wasted playing that game.
Not wasted hours. My dreamy guy's all buff now.
This guy's so dreamy, he's buff.
All right, let me just cut this.
I give a Shattered Dream Pie to Phil.
Thank
Sorry.
you. I deserved it.
And, as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at vgs@gamercastnetwork.com. Call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. Or Skype us at Video Game Show.
Ah, it tastes like shattered dreams.
Tastes like burning.
My mouth tastes like burning.
I ate the purple berries.
My cat's breath smells like cat food.
It's Super Nintendo Chalmers.
So the doctor said my nose would quit bleeding if I kept my finger out of there. Oh boy, sleep. That's where I'm a Viking.
That might be the best one.
Oh, me too. Me too.